One greedy merchant, hearing the rumors, followed her one night. He saw her boat vanish into the sea, light trailing after it. Determined to claim her secret, he dove into the water. Hello there, I'm your Grandpa Joe, and this is Stories with Grandpa. Here, every tale has a secret to share. Every word carries wisdom, and every moment reminds us that stories never really die. So, are you ready? Let's start today's story. Long before maps were drawn, before sailors charted oceans and kingdoms built fleets, the sea was a mystery. It stretched endlessly, a shifting quilt of silver and blue. Some said it had no end. Others whispered of lands hidden beyond the horizon, guarded by storms and shadows. In a quiet harbor town lived a girl named Marin. Her name meant of the sea, and it suited her well. From the day she was old enough to walk, she would wander the rocky cliffs, staring out at the waves. While other children played in the streets, she listened to the ocean's whispers, the crash of the tide, the sigh of the wind, the call of seabirds. Her father was a fisherman, weathered and strong, his hands tough for mending nets. Her mother wove sails, stitching by lantern light. Life was simple, though never easy. Storms often stole their catch, and winters could be lean. But Marin's heart was never heavy, for she felt the sea itself was her friend. One evening, as the sun sank low and painted the sky with fire, Marin walked the shore. There, half buried in the sand, she found something strange. A shard of glass no larger than her palm, glowing faintly. When she held it up, it shimmered, not with sunlight, but with starlight. That night, she dreamed. In her dream, the sea opened like a doorway. Beneath its surface stretched a vast garden, not of coral or seaweed, but of stars. Golden, silver, and blue lights bloomed like flowers drifting in the current. And in the center stood a tree, its branches made of light, its roots tangled in the seabed. A voice, soft as waves, spoke. This is the Star Garden. Long ago, when the first stars were born, some fell into the sea. They took root here, growing into wonders unseen by land-bound eyes. But storms rise, and the garden fades. A guardian must protect it, one with the courage to listen. Marin awoke with the shard still in her hand. It pulsed faintly, like a heartbeat. Days passed, and she could not forget the dream. Each time she walked the shore, the shard warmed against her skin. At last, she decided she would find the garden. One moonlit night, she took her father's smallest boat. The harbor slept, lanterns dim, but the shard in her pocket glowed brighter, guiding her out to sea. The waves were calm, the stars above mirrored on the surface like a second sky. Marin rowed until the town was only a shadow on the horizon. Then the shard grew hot in her hand. The sea beneath her shimmered and opened. Her boat did not sink. It drifted gently downward, as though the water had become air. Marin gasped as the world below revealed itself. There was the Star Garden. Lights floated like blossoms, casting a glow across the seabed. Creatures of light swam among them. Fish with scales like diamonds, turtles with shells of sapphire, whales trailing silver mist. And in the center stood the great tree of stars, its branches swaying with the currents, its glow steady and strong. Marin stepped from her boat. Though she should have drowned, here she could breathe as easily as on land. The shard pulsed warmly, and she knew it had been a key. The tree's roots trembled, and the voice returned. The garden is fading. Storms above steal our light. Without a guardian, the stars will scatter and die. Will you keep watch, Marin of the sea?" Her heart swelled. "Yes," she whispered, "I will." From that night, Marin lived 2 lives. By day, she helped her family mend nets and sails. By night, she returned to the star garden, rowing out beneath the moon, guided by the shard. She tended the glowing blossoms, calmed the currents, and listened to the songs of whales. But word spread in her town. Some noticed the glow in her eyes, the way her hair shimmered faintly like the tide. Fishermen whispered that she had been touched by sea spirits. Sailors muttered that she hid treasure. One greedy merchant, hearing the rumors, followed her one night. He saw her boat vanish into the sea, light trailing after it. Determined to claim her secret, he dove into the water. But the shard belonged only to Marin. The sea turned against the intruder. Waves rose, winds howled. When he resurfaced, coughing and gasping, he carried nothing but fear. He never spoke of what he had seen, for his heart could not hold its wonder. Years passed. Marin grew older, though the sea seemed to keep her youth. She never married, though many asked, for her heart belonged to the ocean, and always she guarded the garden until her hair silvered and her hands grew frail. One night, she stood before the great tree, leaning upon its glowing roots. The voice of the sea spoke again. "You have done well, child of the waves. The garden shines because of you. But even guardians must rest. Another will come, as you once did, carrying a shard of light." Marin smiled. She placed her shard into the tree's roots. Its glow joined the others, becoming part of the eternal garden. The next morning, her boat was found drifting at the harbor, empty. Some wept. Others whispered that she had simply returned to the sea that had always claimed her. And on clear nights, when the tide was low and the stars shone bright, children said they could see it, faint beneath the waves. A garden of stars blooming forever, and among them, the glow of one more light, the heart of Marin, the guardian of the sea. Now, before you go, remember, this old grandpa has many more stories to share. If you don't want to miss the next one, tap that subscribe button. It's like sitting right here beside me, ready for another tale. I'll be here, waiting with a new story just for you. Until then, keep the stories alive in your heart. Goodbye